Hello, everyone. Welcome to the video podcast episode of College to Career Pathways podcast brought to you by Rise Shap. I am Sahiti Prerna, your MC for today. Campus recruitment training is an intense placement oriented drill. This training is conducted to train students for upcoming campus recruitment drives, and it is different from institute to institute. That is the premise of today's podcast episode. On the panel, we have with us Barkat Jivani Sir, an assistant professor and the corporate relations and placement head at Vagdevi College of Engineering, Warangal. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sahiti, and thank you, Raisha, for inviting me.
Our pleasure, sir. Our second guest for today is Vidya Tondihal ma'am, placement officer and faculty at Bishop Cotton Academy of Professional Management, Bengaluru. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Raisha, for inviting us.
As I said, campus recruitment training varies from institute to institute. So, when do you exactly start preparing your students for campus recruitments?
We have different kind of packets in our campus. So we do conduct a psychometric test at the initial stage. While admitting them, of course, yes, counseling services will be given. And also once they start with us, their journey with us, we conduct a psychometric test where we try to measure the mental ability, or we try to measure the various range of skills from the cognitive abilities like problem solving or the communication aspects, or thinking abstractly, or learning quickly, kind of a things where actually the students stand. Then based on the analysis of the student, based on the analytical part, we tend to train the students individually, focusing on the areas of their interest.
Thank you, ma'am. And Bakat sir, when does it start at your college?
Uh, Earlierly, when we used to talk, we used to do the training. We used to start with final year, I mean, like fourth year specifically. Later on, the way the company started changing the recruitment process, and they are now looking for third year as well. So from last couple of years, we have started training from first year. And how does this training go is that, but initially we take a goal orientation survey from the student. We try to know what are their plans, whether they're planning to go for higher education, or they're planning to go for placement, or they're having a wing for entrepreneurship. So based upon this, once we find that, oh, these students are for placements, okay, so for them we again conduct, as ma'am said, we try to conduct a survey, a test, wherein we try to understand where they are good at and where they're not performing well. So based upon that, then we start their training as well. Let's say if we have a student who is good at aptitude, so again putting aptitude training on him is not worth. So what we do is, again, since we have students coming from various different places, as ma'am said, rural, urban, and so on, so English would be again a problem between them. So we again specifically identify such students, and then we train them according to their requirement and need. Okay. And then later on, when companies come, we have a general training that we do for placements, where we train them for aptitude, reasoning, verbal, and so on. And apart from that, the technical stuff, as it is an engineering college, we have programming languages that we need to stress upon, then the coding skills and that we have to stress upon. So we do stressing on that, and then on it goes. And then again, when you're talking about the higher education candidates, like I told, like they plan for higher education, for them we have in-house IELTS training with us, and then GRE training has been there. So this is all trainings that we provide. And from now, what we have done is, we have also, since we have autonomous college, we have that leverage of adding course and subjects in a curriculum. So we have also included IELTS as a part of curriculum, and then aptitude and reasoning also as a subject in our curriculum, so that students take it compulsorily. Because if you see, aptitude and reasoning, that's what we do, is again required for your higher education as well, for your placement as well, and if you're going for any government job, you require them at that particular place as well. So that is the part where we emphasize more on. So how this is how we basically plan up our training.
It's nice to know, sir. So, in both the cases, psychometric tests play a very important
Very,
role, isn't it?
yes, that's true. That
That's
decides how candidate has to be taken forward for which training and how.
absolutely, sir. So now for those who want to take up jobs, how is the approach, sir? Is it company specific or is it a generalized approach?
As I told you, see, initially what we start our training is, we start with general, because it helps in three things. higher education, placements, and gate exams, and so on. So this is a general approach that we do it from first year itself till the fourth year. When coming specifically to third years and final years, what we do is we have a recap, which according to your language would be company specific. Okay,
Hmm.
we do a recap wherein we see what is the requirement of the company, what is the job description, what is they are looking for, and based upon that we train them again. I mean, we don't train them, we just revise them what they had learned in a more fine-tuned way based upon the
Okay.
company specific, what we call it as.
So based on what company is coming, the revision varies.
Yeah,
Varies with revision.
that's the exact word, revision. Yes.
Sure, sir. And Vidya ma'am, how is it at your end?
See, when it comes to training part, what company is seeking, if we are training them, we are giving the fake candidates.
That's true.
We have to train them on the real grounds so that it helps the student to know the difficulties and also to to get an exposure towards the industry. So generic concept would be, as sir said, generic concept first year and second year. And when it comes to third year, when we call in for drives, at that time company requirements or research about the companies will be taken care.
And for those who want to go for off-campus recruitment, is there any difference, for in on-campus interviews and off-campus interviews? And how should a student's personal approach vary towards it?
Okay. On campus, what happens? Company come in search of you. I mean, stress and the time will be taken care by college. But off campus, student has to go in search for companies.
True, ma'am.
And companies set the criteria in the on-campus interview. I mean, on-campus placements, companies set the criteria where we try and student make himself ready to fill in that category. That category or the criteria, whatever is being set by the companies. But when he go off campus, what he needs, the areas of interest in which he want to build his career, he has a more option when he go for walk-in. On campus will be like, we call them to the campus and we give them, okay, these are the 5 options, these are the 6 options, these are the 15 companies where he may or he may not. So companies come in on campus, off campus, students go in search of companies.
That's true, ma'am. So does the campus recruitment training help them in off-campus, interview process as well? I mean, how does it help them in general?
Pardon me, I didn't get you.
So when a student is trained in the campus, it is very specific to on-campus kind of interviews. So now, if someone is going for job hunting after their college, the campus recruitment training that they've undergone in the college, does it help them? Does it equip them with the skills to, be job search ready? If that makes sense to you.
Right. See, we prepare at our campus in order, like, for example, from as a student, I'll tell, in order to sell myself in the corporate, what I'll do, you need to leverage education, which means it should not be just a degree. The skills that I have acquired. Say, I'll give you one small example. For example, I studied math, but I'm not able to align with the company goals or the company which is offering me a role. It is creative, but I studied math, but I'm interested or I am taking into, or the company offered me the creative thing. So now I can make use of the research abilities that I have undergone during my tenure at campus training. The research skills, or what do you call, comprehending the complex things, or thinking abstractly, problem solving skills, or communication skills, or any other kind of the skills that he acquired during his tenure at the campus placements will be helping the student for not 100%, but at least 50%.
It's nice to know, ma'am. And Barkat, so what's your take on this?
Yes, as ma'am said, while undergoing training, we train students how to sell themselves, nothing but how to show their qualities or what the skill they have. We make in that way that they are able to project themselves well, so that they can negotiate with the HRs. So once they are at off campus, this is what I can say, that where we are making them ready in the off campuses, for basically for the off campuses, so that they are able to crack the job. But again, when they're going for walk-ins, the competition is very high. So that is one negative impact there. Apart from that, when you're talking about off campus, the requirement that companies has is also less when compared to the that what we have in a on campus, because here the companies come with their own requirements, saying that we have some requirement, and that's the reason they go to a college. But when considering about off campus, they have a very less requirement. That is the reason they are not able to go to some college, but they call for open place where everyone can show on and prove themselves and take their job. That's how, like, it's something like that, come show yourself and prove yourself and take the job, something like that. So it would be more difficult for me when I say it's an off campus. It's all about how better you prove yourself when compared to your other counterpart. And then, as I said, lots of competition would be there for sure, whereas there is less competition in the college, because there are only few students who are in the college who are ready or who are approaching for that particular job. Whereas when you're going to off campus, those who were not serious or they were not able to get a job in the campus, all are out now looking for a job at an off campus life for sure.
Absolutely, sir. That's so true. So, what are the means that you let your students leverage while preparing for interviews or placements in general? Be it technology, or what are the tools?
Uh, for now, as it's been lockdown and pandemic, and we are very fortunate that we have various websites that are offering us, online classes, or you can say, doubt clearing sessions, like RiseSharp is there, which is helping us for placements. In the same way, we have companies like GoHexa is there, and Reference Globe is there, so Explore is there. So these companies help us to train students online. They have their own video materials available. Apart from that, they have their tests that are available, so the students can take the test, then they can find where they are lagging, and then they can watch the videos, and then again they can take the retest, and they can see how there's a change in their performance, how they have learned, and so on. Apart from that, we also have a one-on-one counseling that we have. Counselor is there, where we give them the chance to have a one-on-one interview with the counselor, where counselor interviews them, tells them the positivities, tells them the negativities, what they are doing in the interview, and so on. And this is the way how we try to help them out in their positives and the negatives. This is what we are using as of now because of the pandemic. But yes, that touch that we used to have physical is been missing now, because we are not able to cater every student, because when they're in the college you are able to deliver one-on-one sessions, whereas now since it is online, and students have got they have got vexed because of this mobile phone lessons and so on. They are not I find many of the students who are coming online to listen to the class, I'm sure majority of them have just logging in for attendance, keeping a phone aside, and they're moving here and there. So that is what I find a little problem this time that's happening. But then facilities and support is being extended to every student by by the placement cell.
And I guess thanks to technology for that.
Actually, right.
Ma'am, how is it at your end, ma'am? What tools do you leverage, or have you been using new technologies after the whole situation has changed?
Yes, we are continuously online for training purpose, and we do conduct few assessment tests. As sir said, we are continuously doing online, but it is little bit difficult because there is no track of performance.
True.
We cannot, because when we come face to face, we analyze and we can make them to listen. But when it is online, you have too many options to deviate and to get distracted.
That's so true, ma'am. So, you know, we've been using technology a lot lately for, training and all of that. It also brings us to the next challenge. So, I think there is a stark shift towards virtual interviews and virtual placements. So, how is it at your campus, ma'am? Are recruiters coming and recruiting students virtually, or How is it happening right now?
Yeah, because we are not supposed to have more crowd, so we have to maintain a social distancing. Before, we used to allow we used to allow the client and the student to have face-to-face conversations. Now, when it comes to virtual, we have to train them on, when it comes to the checklist. First, we have to make sure that their technological part training has to be given. Then the name or the title of if the person is taking up the interview, and the name and the title of the every interviewer should be communicated to the student prior, and the format has to be explained, the schedule of the events has to be explained to the student. And most of the time the camera and microphone, sometimes the voice disturbances we have, the lighting disturbances we have, and the visual distractions we may have. So it's like not only the actual part but also the technological part has to be fulfilled, and we are taking care of it.
So there's a little additional training that has to happen when
Yes,
it
yes.
comes to
Right.
technology. True.
Exactly.
How is it at your end, Barkat sir?
Similar what as ma'am said, but it has become more prolonged. Like earlier placement drive would have happened at the college, we would have completed in 1 or 2 days max, and max by a weekend we would have got the result. But now the drives are taking months and months and months. It's going really really bad. Like students are getting, since it's everything is online, the lots of pranks are going on. Like students are calling their friends and doing the interviews saying that we have called from so and so company, and these things are
Oh,
happening. And then uh, that particular thing where we are not able to close things soon. If you're talking about TCS or Infosys, so the placements, the written test happened somewhere in July, and then still it went on. The interviews went on till December, and now again we still have the second part going on. They have recently started the second part of higher package one. So these things are happening in a prolonged way, and students are losing their patience level basically, and that's one major issue that we are facing with this particular virtual. And even HRs are getting a lot of problem because of the students not getting on time, the times are not matching, and that's so various issues that are happening because of this virtual interviews. I would.
Shall I add on to it?
Yes, yes,
One
please go
second.
on. Yeah, please.
We, sir, as you said, no, students lost their patience when we used to call them for conduct the campus drives, school drives. Sometimes last time when we conducted, we had a 600 students walked into our college from Christ, from Jain, from Mount Carmel, and Bangalore branches. Uh, what happened because of the huge numbers? It went on till 8 p.m. So students started, hating it. They were not in a position to wait and to
Actually.
attend. They just started to cribbing. They were grumbling. They were fumbling. Because when they go walk in, you never know. First round may happen after 2 hours, after 3 hours. Then they send you out. They call you second round. You please come next week or next month. After the final round, then again the background verification. For that, they take 1 month of time. But those kind of hindrances will be removed in the campus placements. But for that particular day, one day also they don't have the patience.
True, true, true.
it's true.
And again, that follow up that we are doing, it's endless. Like we are not able to track who has completed his interview, who has not got a chance for the interview, and then the technical hindrance that happen while doing interview, they lose the connectivity, or they lose the voice, something like that. And then few, like, see, we had Infosys placement drive, and then few students were not able to connect to the internet, and in while they're attempting their exam, they lost the connection and they lost the chance. So these are the various problems that are happening because of this virtual interview. Though opportunities have come tremendous. Like I'm telling you, if you're talking about on campus, last year if you had around 70 companies turning up, now we have almost 115 or 120 companies that have given opportunity to students. But follow up and how many were able to attend, it's becoming a hell of a problem where we are not able to address that issues.
Vidya ma'am, how do you help students figure out their career choices? Do you have career counselors or any career guidance counseling programs or anything of such sort?
Yeah, we do have career counseling programs. Recently, we had one in the month of Feb. We had one from ICAI, Bangalore branch, chapter one. So, CA counseling program, ACCA. We do have variety of integrated courses. Say it might be aviation, or it might be commerce and management programs, or soft skills, or personality development. We do before making the students join. We do orientation program. During that session, also we invite resource person, and students tend to get an opportunity to ask the questions and clear their doubts. And counseling services, we most of the companies who offer placements, the companies who want to conduct a placement drives, they do come to the college and get to know the students, and they inform us, okay, they have to be trained on these aspects, they have to be given counseling on the other aspects. So it's like mutual understanding between company, us, and the students. We do have a career counseling programs almost 70% apart from the extracurricular activities.
I think that must be really helpful for all your students, ma'am.
Yes.
Barkat sir, what about you?
As I said, initially in the first year itself, we have a goal-oriented survey that we take from students, which differentiates which student is going for what future, right? So based upon that, we do have mentoring system, and we also have counseling system. We have one-on-one counseling. Apart from that, as ma'am said, we have industry experts who put in their experience, their knowledge sharing that happens. Apart from that, we also take alumni into consideration, and we weekly once we have one or the other alumni who will be sharing his experience, his life journey with the students, so in order to motivate them, in order to guide them how to go ahead, what is the next step that need to take. So based upon the categories that we have, based upon that we have this alumni coming in talking from the same profession, so that students will be have a path ready available, so that it becomes a easy for walk for them to go ahead in their life. So that is how we manage or how we proceed further.
It's nice to know some. Apart from that, a lot of students may not be able to get into companies that are related to their course of study or maybe of their interest. So, how do you counsel them or support them, sir?
What we do is here, we have a concept of incubation center in our college. Okay, so students who do not get placed, what do we try to do is like we try to attach them with our entrepreneurs, and we try to guide them there so that they get experience while of
Okay.
working with the entrepreneurs. So whatever requirement is there, if there is a technical guy, he'll help them with the technical stuff what the entrepreneurs require, or if it's a MBA marketing or sales, they help them in the promoting their sales. So in this way they get experience. Okay, so we try to provide a little bit of stipend from them or something like that, and then once they have got this experience, and then when they get into the real world, they get a higher advantage to get a job easily, because now they have some experience to do things. So you can call it as an internship or something like that. So we try to imbibe them in the internship concept, so that they have a one hand experience of what they're going to do in the future. So if they find it difficult doing here, there's a any day chance to switch the profession or switch the thing they require to do, or they can change their goal, something like that. But once they are into the company where they have to sign a bond, something like that, then they do not have that leverage of changing. So this is what we try to give it to our students, so that they find it easy while they're on job. This is what we do basically.
That's an amazing idea, sir. Uh, Ma'am, how is it at your institute? What do you do to support students who don't get the jobs they want to get?
Same alumni walk in, and when we do career counseling program, we do allow the pastor students, the alumni, to attend the counseling programs. And as in the third year, when we start up the training course or company specific, what we do is we send them to the internships dissertations, incubation programs. Because I read recently in a LinkedIn, there was one joke. I am 20 years old. Company is asking me 5 years of experience.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So when it comes to the experience part, if you are a recent graduate looking in for a work experience, it's like you have to focus on your specific of your dissertation or notable people you interviewed or worked with throughout the project and the process by which you went planning and working with the part-time jobs or the programs, any kind of. But what you want to do, what you have to develop the skills is the skills that you learned along the way, such as you might have learned management, organization, research while doing your internship. So you have to show the employer that although you may not have the years of work experience, you have demonstrated the valuable transferable skills throughout your education.
That's nice to know, ma'am. Ma'am, also, like we said, a lot of students may not get into jobs that they like. So, have you observed any patterns as to why recruiters don't select students? Is there a pattern that,
Why do recruiters?
why students don't get selected? Is there a pattern behind, why some students don't make it to the job?
Yeah, well, if you see why students don't get job, because of high competition, as earlier sir has mentioned that, and because of lack of work experience, and companies seek few skills, whereas student is lacking skills, and the student have a little networking or lack of follow up or lack of communication skills or lack of networking.
I would also add up lack of confidence as well. Like they're not able to project themselves in the front of the HR, though they have 90 percentile in their resume. But then that confidence and that projection that they need to have in front of the HR, if they're lagging that, they won't get it. They cannot crack it. So
Like
basically,
yes, they will be thinking, I haven't started my writing my resume yet. How will I write my cover letter? How will I start my career path? Who am I searching of? Whether I put on resume in Naukri, whether I put on resume in timesjob.com, or whether I go and seek a help of my, because they try to always keep somebody with them to support. Yes, of course, it is needed to one extent, but they have to take their own call. They have to nourish their skills. When you have a hold or when you have a knowledge, when you have developed the expertise in you, then for sure the confidence will come up. Say, for example, before going for the interview, you can rehearse with your friends instead of memorizing it. Or you can rehearse with because when you do the mistakes in a comfortable zone, you tend to learn more. So when you go for the actual interview, here already you have done a rehearse with the family or friends, which help you a lot. So these, because they're not serious. Okay, tomorrow is the job. Till night 2 o'clock, they will be on Insta, social media, which is, people. What I felt is they just fairy tale or fairy world. They are not actually into a reality. Some serious awareness, bringing the seriousness into the students. Such kind of awareness programs also we are planning to take. Because live demonstrations, we want to call not only the successful people, but the people who have failed and in a process of learning. Such kind of alumni are also coming and sharing their experiences. When we were serious, what happened, when we were not, what we underwent and all. Sharing the experiences also makes sense.
True, Mama. That's indeed a challenge. In one of the surveys that RiseSharp conducted, recruiters said that most of the students were blank when they were asked this question to describe themselves. Correct. So it's something as simple as describing yourself, but people were not able to answer that. So I think that is a challenge that is there in our country.
Again, I would like to add here, when you're saying describing yourself, it varies. It varies based upon the interview. Like job role and all the things again depend how you need to tell yourself. Okay, so what I would say here is that confidence level 1 and the overconfidence. These are the two issues that actually take you either up or down. So if you're confident enough, you're able to crack the job. But if you're overconfident, I'm sure you're losing the job. That's the reason. That would
and
have
one
to
more
say.
thing. what I mean, replying and responding have two differences.
Yes.
They just want to reply. They just
Yes.
don't want to respond. But
That's
the few tapping or little encouragement, if it is given to the students, for sure students will have a bright future.
that's true.
They need a small kind of, the live activities or kind of experiences they have to make themselves, not by listening.
Yes.
When you experience on yourself, when you fail or when you succeed, whatever it is, when you go blank and when you attend next time, first time they would be blank, but second time when they attend, for sure they will not be blank. So when they undergo the personal experiences, I think they learn through the experiences.
That's so true, ma'am. So, do you believe that part-time jobs should be more? Students should be encouraged a little more to taking up part-time jobs or freelance opportunities and all of that? Because relatively, it's little less right now.
Yeah, we have we have various opportunities online. The only thing is we need to channelize the students in introducing those work. Few students cannot travel. Few students, they don't. I mean, they want to take care of the family, or they want to concentrate on sports, or they want to concentrate on their passions. They might not be ready, but at least the students who are ready to do the job because of their financial commitments or because of their own interests, we can help. It is necessary to, because practical knowledge when you are learning will be beneficial.
Sure.
While you're studying, practical knowledge is necessary. So incubation programs, internship programs, dissertations, part-time jobs, most of our students involved in a research work.
Yes.
Or some or the other fest or a quiz competitions. We have so many extracurricular activities. So students are trained on that. Students are given opportunity to attend various seminars, workshops, webinars, and all. So it's how it is like that.
Would you like to add anything, sir?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, ma'am. Like part-time job, I would surely recommend because it gives you that maturity would surely come up soon once you start doing part-time job, because you know what's the importance of money, how it should be earned, and how the time would be managed. So these are the advantages that you have with part-time job. But then again, it again depends what type of job you're doing. Okay, is it related to your field, or it is something different that just you're doing for your earning? So if it is related to your field, I would surely recommend, or you can just say, instead of calling it as a part-time, you can call it as an internship, you could say. Yeah, so but that would actually mold him to his future, and that would I would always go for. Yes.
And one more thing, students nowadays, we are giving on, because we are in a phase of Industry 4.0, whereas augmented reality or a virtual reality or a blockchain technology or a coding or data science, data analytics. So when we give the training on them, when we have a value integrated courses, a few openings come up. We will be aware of what kind of openings are there. And through online, they can learn. Through online, even they start blogging. Few of the students are, we have a bloggers. So they are making money through blogging. So freelancing or content writing kind of jobs will be helpful for them to understand the industry jargons.
Yes, even vlogging is there. It's been booming now. YouTube channels and so on. It's like good one, where students can prove their talent, skill, and get hired through LinkedIn as well, showing their previous work.
True, sir. The gig economy, as it is called. So, sir, now the situation has completely changed, and people are behind the cameras. I mean, behind the monitors for most of the time. So, have you felt that students have become a little more stressed and anxious about campus recruitments? And now, how has the approach changed to help students feel less anxious and feel a little more confident even behind the camera?
Yes, like we are now behind the camera, and yeah, it has been a hectic job for a student, because like even the classworks are going online. Everything has now turned to behind the camera, and it's becoming a trouble for them, because every second day they have to sit in front of the camera, either to for giving a for a class or for an interview. Okay. And then it has been a problem because matching of time, you say, or that disturbance that you have because of this electronic media, like you can say internet issues and mobile camera issues, or you can say the voice issues and so on. These are always discouraging students when they're into their interviews. And then they have, though they give their 100%, because of this technicality issues that they face, they always get a little bit nervous, that they are not sure how did they give their interview, because they gave their 100%, but because of the network issues they had to face these issues. And then the HR might have been able to listen to them or not, or able to see them or not. So this is becoming a little bit problem. We are trying to encourage them that okay, that's fine, if you lose one opportunity, that's okay, we have another coming. So you have to keep confident, and let's hope next time when you're going for an interview, make sure that you're having a proper network and everything. So we are trying to make them encouraged and motivate that okay, that's fine, let's move on, since it's gone, it's gone. Let's focus for the other one, and make sure whatever mistake that you have done in the last, you're not repeating them in the next one.
Yeah. So to make them feel relaxed, we do have mock interviews. We do conduct mock interviews. So, but we call, when they sit in front of us, they feel so flexible. So what we do,
They
some
feel
unknown
relaxed.
person, yeah, some unknown person we call, and we tell them, okay, think that it is a real interview and just try to answer the questions. But it may not help to the fullest, but it will have some kind of impact to make them to understand where they actually stand. So we have a mock interview tool to reduce the anxiety level of the students.
So if you have to say anything to the students out there who are aspiring to secure a job after their graduation, what would that be?
Yeah, okay. Fine. Whether you want to align education into your career, or consider the passion or concentrate on passion towards building your career based on your education. That is one thing. And to the recruiting firms, to the companies, to bring fairness to the system of recruitment, they should put back the human, I quote, human in human resources.
Absolutely, ma'am. Yeah. Would you like to say anything, sir, to students who are aspiring?
Yeah, I would like to say to students that if they are looking for jobs, first they need to prepare a proper resume which actually projects themselves. So since you know that while you're going for an interview, it's not you who goes first, it's your resume that goes first. So you have to prepare a resume properly aligned to what you know, and it should only say what you have in you, the skill that you have. You cannot fake on that. So one that thing is, that very important thing is, student basically copy the resumes from here and there, and they end up boosting something which they don't know, and they end up losing their job because of that thing that they have done which was asked in the interview. So I would say that student need to be true to what they know, that has to only be put on the resume, first thing. And secondly, they should know what they're doing, for what job they're applying, and for that job they have to be prepared based upon what the job description is all about. And they have to fine tune the resume based upon the job post that they're applying for. So these are the normal things. And the other one is, stay confident, and आपका time आएगा for sure. So just don't lose hope. That's what I would like to tell the student fraternity. And when talking about the placement fraternity, I will surely say that try your best. I know it is very pathetic situation where we are in. We have lots of pressure from student, from the management, from the HRs, and we are not having the medium to follow up from the students. But this phase also will go. So we have to stay strong in this phase and try our best to provide as many opportunities as we can to our students, and make sure that the students are bagging them off. That's what I would like to say. Thank you, ma'am, for giving us this chance.
Thank you so much, Barkat sir. Thank you so much, Vidya ma'am.
Thank you, Raishap, and thank you so much for coordinating with us. And you've been a wonderful, host.
Thank you so much, ma'am.